Welcome to TUP, the podcast where we tell stories that we should and some that we shouldn't. And today is our special for Leyland Festival. I'm Misha from Midnight Lancs.
I'm Tim from Leyland Car Care and Car Spunk.
I'm Henry from HD Wraps.
And we're going to get into the festival. We've just all come back from having the festival time over the weekend, and it has exhausted all of us. So this is why we've got this new layout that you can see. And we're just going to discuss about the festival and what it is and what it's about and why we do it. So, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. As you can see, we are still in our camping chairs from the festival. Feel like we haven't come back from it. But yeah, it was a really, really good day. Full of energy. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was great. It was a massive turnout as well.
Yeah.
It's not. I've not done it many times, but every time I've done it, it has been the same. Massive turnout. Lots of people, lots of friendly faces.
Yeah.
You
There's lots to do, and we're trying to have a break, but we've already got ideas for next year and the things that we're going to bring to it, even more stuff and make it even bigger and better. Every year, that's what it's about, bringing it back as a bigger and better thing. And we smashed it this year. It was very popular. People were dancing into the night, and there was a lot of good stuff going on. There was a lot of other stuff as well. There's not just our side, the car side. There is a lot of other stuff to it. Let's tell the people on listening to this where it all started. Back in the day, the original Leyland Festival was made for the workers of Leyland. So they were created from Leyland Motors. The people of the town came to this town to work here to create the vehicles, not only for the early years, but then it moved on to the First World War, the Second World War. We have the Leyland trucks here now, Packard, who are owned by Peterbilt and Kenworth over in America. And it was a proper festival to give back to the people something, each year. So this is an old festival. This has got roots, in this town for many, many years, over 100 years. And it died off like a lot of festivals. If you look at carnivals and festivals in the UK, they died a death. They really did die a death. And what we've done with the Leyland Festival is revived it. Like other ones like Leyland Festival, and there are ones popping up now here and there. And it's good to see this revival of festivals. But the Leyland Festival it was about the automotive history of the town of Leyland. So it's good to be a part of something, bringing it and reviving it. And this is why I wanted to add the vehicles back on, because the floats were there and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't have the vehicle aspect to it. And that's what I wanted to bring back, the vehicle aspect to it. It started from, the vehicle aspect started within here at Leyland Car Care, and it was literally 7 vehicles, and that was it. And it was only because it was Joe, who we worked with this year on the float side of stuff, invited us and said, I wanted to do a car show. I really wanted to do a car show. And then the people I was speaking to at the council and other people were like, well, you know how much it's going to cost? And I'm like, let's just park some cars on a field, it's mine, and all that. They went, no, that's not, you can't do that. You have to have infrastructure. You have to have all the people working. You have to have, bins and Irish fencing and all that. And it was like, oh my God. And when they were talking in numbers of thousands, that it cost. And then they went, it's not just like one day. I'm like, what do you mean? It will be. They just come on the day and then they go. And I'm like, no, because you have to have infrastructure set up on the Friday. Saturday's your show day, and then Sunday's the clean up. So you're actually paying for 3 days worth of stuff if you want to do it properly. And there'll be people looking at this going, nah, I chuck it on a field and it's right and all this. That's not doing it at the size that we do. Between 25,000 and 40,000 people come to this. This is a big, big event. So there's a lot of infrastructure, a lot of setup and all that goes into it. And we're trying to push it even further, aren't we? We're trying to get it to further afield, and people, utilize the hotels in the area and get people to come and travel to it and all the rest of it. And going to, just so we can tell the viewers what it does and what it is this is a festival that starts in the town centre, and we fully parade through the streets, all the vehicles, all the floats, all the dancers, the singers, the marching bands, the Boris dancers, you name it, they're all there. And they all go through the town centre all the way to the park. And this is part of the tradition of Leyland Festival, is the parade that parades through the streets. It just makes it special. This is not like a car show where you just turn up and that's it. This is like your vehicles are going through the streets, and it adds that bit of difference, that bit of spice, that bit of, it adds that something that is different. And like I say, we started out with like literally 6 or 7 cars, but we had a massive mixture of stuff, commercial, modified, supercars, even a tuk-tuk, was it 2 tuk-tuks?
Yeah.
I didn't see the other one.
Yeah, both on the parade.
Right, okay. I didn't see the other one.
See, that's another thing as well, because you don't actually get to experience the full parade when you're actually in it.
No.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, I didn't see anything this year.
No, you were on the park.
For the last 2 years, I've done the parade so many times now that I don't mind, not being in it. And it was a case of this year it was that busy. I literally didn't even leave our zone to go and have a look at the dog show, the food festival, the music festival, all the other bits of the festival that are going on. I'd usually have a wander down and see how they're doing and go and see the organisers of their areas and stuff like that. But we were that busy this year, like with vehicles, movement and all that kind of stuff. It was just mental. I didn't even get off it. And I think I only finished at about 10 o'clock at night, moving fencing and stuff like that. But it was just showed how good it was. It was good to catch up with the chairman, Martin, and have that time on the park to talk about next year. So yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Just goes to show, like, when you talk about infrastructure and like how this year was so different because we put so many procedures in place to make it as safe as we could
a lot more
for
professional.
people. And we put a lot of time and effort into thinking about everything that could possibly go wrong and risk assessments and stuff. It just goes to show that actually takes so much more time. Like, and we were running around like headless chickens, weren't we? We didn't stop, we didn't eat, we didn't drink.
Yeah.
Like, we were just
You
go.
ran yourself into the ground, didn't you? And this is what people don't see. The side that they didn't see is like Misha was here till whatever time in the morning, several times doing paperwork.
Yeah.
When you're thinking of putting a car show on and doing it proper, it ain't about just chucking a load of vehicles on a field or chucking a load of vehicles here, there and anywhere. You can do that, but comes massive risks, And you're not going to draw the attention of thousands and thousands of people, So, but yeah, there was so much other stuff that went on, weren't there?
Yeah, a lot. But it's different, like, because we obviously do like car meets and stuff like that, and we have done smaller events on a small scale previously, but this was a whole new level of when you've got that many people, you've got like thousands and thousands of people visiting, children, dogs, families, cars, all different people that you don't know personally and stuff like that, and to manage all of them, caterers, bars, inflatables, traffic management, having a full team of marshals that you need to manage.
12 months worth of meetings. 12 months worth of meetings. Like we're ready to be doing our debrief, and after that, the first meeting will happen for 2024, which, by the way, is June the 15th, and it is the theme of Mardi Gras. So June the 15th, 2024. If you want to come along, you're more than welcome, and we're gonna have the Mardi Gras theme for this time, and come in all the different colours and stuff.
What's the turnout normally when you're doing the ones here?
So it's difficult to figure out how many actual people there, because obviously people that come to car meets and stuff like that, they kind of go with a passenger, a couple of friends in the back, because they don't want to turn up on their own. Then some people just turn up in one vehicle. We struggle to count the amount of people, but we try and keep track of the amount of cars. So I think one night it was up to like nearly 200 here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's, on average 100. Like our last meet on Monday that we just did, that was over 100 vehicles.
2 people per car.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's grown. When you first came here to do that event, it wasn't that many people were a bit unsure about it, and then it's grown to the annoyance of the person down the road. But yeah, so the festival, going back to the festival, the 2024 is going to be a different look. It's going to be bigger. It's going to have more stuff. We're reaching out, like I say, we're looking to get some live entertainment going through the day. You're working on stuff, Henry, aren't you, behind the scenes? Misha's working on stuff, and well, she's going to have a lot of stuff to work on.
It's crazy how long it takes because I only came on board with Leyland Festival. I think it was like end of February.
You took over from someone else, so that made it twice as hard.
Yeah.
Because you were having to redo like the stuff on the computers and like all that kind of stuff had to be redone from last year. Finding stuff because this place went through a change as well, so a lot of stuff was archived when the change happened.
Everything had to be redone.
Yeah, because of GDPR and stuff like that, and it was like, yeah, it was just like it was a battle. But like the good thing that I can see from what's happened and is the hard work and everything is given that infrastructure for next year, like drivers briefings, paperwork, all that kind of stuff is done now, literature of all different types, you know. So we've got a lot of that stuff done, haven't we?
See, even
though there's still gonna be
registering
more.
as well, that was so much easier this year, so much straightforward. Well, more straightforward than it has
Yeah,
ever
it's
has been.
the registration process
Amazing.
through the Leyland Car Care website was just a lot easier process. You using the emailing company, with the things.
Yeah, MailChimp
But we
and
had to
stuff.
learn these things because we've not done these type of things, and yes, we probably could do with using the email campaigns a bit more and stuff, and it gave us that experience of learning how to do it and stuff. But so this is the good thing about the festival that I like. Each year you learn, and I told you this, didn't I? You came and I said to you that you're going to learn now how it is to put on a big show.
Yeah.
You know, we class this as a medium-sized show when you look at Autosports and Silverstone Classics and stuff. But this is a big show, and this is what a step up, and you really bossed it, didn't you? And it was like the team as well around us this year was so much better. I'm not saying other years they were rubbish, but I'm just saying that the team this year were
Experienced.
not even experienced. They weren't experienced, and that was the thing. They came into this like not knowing they came, but their determination of like wanting to do it and turn up. And there was a group of people I picked out to Misha who really shone. One in particular, she bossed the field. She bossed everything. She was the manager of the field on the day.
Yeah, I think she told me off a few times actually.
Yeah, she did get into a couple of fisticuff fights with different people. But she needed that.
That's what you need on the field.
You did, because you needed someone who was going to be stern, because there was a lot of people on there who were either drunk or and stuff. And we had no trouble, by the way, with alcohol. This was alcohol and cars. In the past, the council would not let me do it. And now you look at it, and we had nothing, no trouble. We had security there everywhere, all over the gates and everything like that. Never were they used. They were used once for somebody who was an obnoxious guy who just needed to be put back in his vehicle and sent on his way, and that was it. It was really...
It's not the Aston guy, is it?
No. But yeah, she like... Izzy really bossed it, didn't she, on the field?
Yeah, so proud. So these are people that are either like our admins for Midnight Lancs, or they help out sometimes as like for Midnight Lancs meets. So they kind of, like the admins, they manage smaller meets and stuff like that, and they're pretty good at it. But like the people that just observe what we do, they've kind of like soaked that up and just took it to a whole new level. And it was such a proud moment seeing them all like just using their own initiative and absolutely killing it. And certain people really surprised us. So that was so nice to see, and you get so proud to actually witness that and see them develop as people and be like so confident to be able to tell people what to do, and then the kind of side as well of helping people if they're stuck and stuff like that. I think it's such a good learning opportunity for those people. They've really pushed themselves out of the comfort zone, and I think it'll pay off 100%.
And if there's anybody out there who watches this who wants to get into a bit of experience doing this, you're more than welcome to contact us, come and join the team. If you want to jump on, an event like this and have some fun, see the cars, all the rest of it, you get food vouchers for all the wonderful food vendors that are there. And there are some flipping wonderful food vendors there. The food vendors are really, really good.
I probably just went to the most basic one.
What did you get?
He was the shortest. I went to one and just got like a cheap burger and chips.
Right.
And then like and then now you're talking about all the food festivals.
Oh yeah, there was
Yeah.
cheeses.
Yeah.
There was all these cheeses and meats and all sorts of stuff. There was all sorts of different things on ours. There was all sorts of stuff as well. You had, Indian cuisine. You had a baked potato guy. You had, all sorts.
Well, you'll have a
you had
bagel box next year, won't we? Because they wanted to be a part of it this year, but
and it was good for John.
timing. That was all.
It was good for John and Bridget to see it, who've been on Talked Up, by the way. The plates to yachts. It was good to see them on, get them to see it, because Bridget especially wanted to just get the feels. I think sometimes when people, they don't realise what it is. Like, you didn't realise what it was. You didn't realise until you came a few years ago. You certainly didn't realise what went on behind the scenes.
No.
And it's like, it just gets people the bug of getting it. And that's what got me quite a few years ago, the reason why I wanted to do it. Like I say, I wanted to put a car show on, but it was too expensive, and then this just came out of nowhere. Again, this is where you look at what's been 2023. We learned off 2022, came back and did bigger this year. 2022 was nowhere near as big as this year. And even everyone loved it last year. And then this year came along and we smashed it again. And then next year is going to be even bigger. We're going to try and get sponsorship, lean out a bit more on sponsorship. Like I said, I'd love to get the hotels involved, so we're getting people, further and farther afield. My total goal, not for 2024, but for in the future, I'd love it to become a 2-day event. Camping and music and all that kind of stuff at night. And it can be done, because that field's used for music in the park and everything like that, and I do really truly believe it'd be ace to put a tent next to your car, especially with the new setup that we've got in mind. With the new setup where we've got like the drive-in cinema kind of style thing. I think that, if there was enough space between cars, you get a tent at the side and people could be making their own little patch. I just think it'd be really, really good. You don't know. They do it at places like Silverstone and stuff like that. There's flipping out. I was working.
That's what you were saying before about having designated areas.
Yeah.
For things.
I was working at Silverstone Classic, right, and we had some amazing cars, everything from Bugattis to Ferraris and everything like that there. And I will still never forget to this day when I watched an old gentleman who got out in his tweed jacket a £90 million Ferrari, and he parked it in the normal car park and used it as a normal daily driver. It was worth 90 million. This film crews and stuff like that ran over to it and was doing segments on it. And he literally just got out, got his walking stick and wandered off into the show to have a look around. And this thing should have been in the show as a piece, but it wasn't. It was just sat in a car park.
He filled in the contact form at 11:59 the night before.
Yeah, probably.
We've had one of them.
This is the thing. If you are wanting to join us on Leyland Festival 2024 on the Word and Motor Village, please do not be messaging me on the day, because I cannot get you in past security. There is a lot of infrastructure in and around that field and in and around the whole of the park that we cannot just go, oh, come and just push through and all that rest of it. We've got things to move and thousands of people to move and a full parade coming through. So if you are going to sign up for 2024, you can sign up now. Do it now and you're in. Even if you can't make it, you don't know if you don't know you can make it or anything like that, just sign up and you're done, you're in and that. And please read the flipping emails that we send out that Misha spent 9 million hours doing all the way to the last minute. Because so many people who didn't read that.
You get calls, you're like, oh, well, just click on it and then, oh,
there, I didn't get my pass. I did not get my pass. You are horrible. You're a wanker. Oh, did you click on this button? Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I did get my pass. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
So check your emails.
Yeah.
This is going
Anyway, back to positivity.
If you don't come in future.
No, this is all us just venting now after such a heavy week, and it was good. It was good. This is the aftermath. But like I say, 2024 is going to be really, 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 really good.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I feel like this year we did have such variety, and next year we're going to build up on that variety as well. I've already got plans of who I want to invite to bring a whole different aspect to it. So we had different sections this year. So we had scooters and bikes, we had high performance, we had some clubs. So we had Wheels Up North, we had Midnight Lancs, we had American, which was Northwest Stangs. We had vintage and retro.
Commercial was really
Commercial
good.
was huge.
Big shout out to Fox Brothers because they sponsored the whole thing for us and gave us a large sum. They've sponsored it last year. They've been amazing sponsors every year of the show. Paul Fox has supported us, and he even brings the Foximus Prime, which is the Optimus Prime, but it's the Foximus Prime, and 3 other vehicles that are amazing. Fire Brigade have done, they were amazing. They bring out the spread that they do, and the old Dennis fire engine. Bowker turned up with the trucks and stuff. Who else was there in the commercial? There was a few more buses. The British Commercial Vehicle Museum. I'm just looking at the vintage sign on my wall there to make sure I say it right. Again, they're a big piece of history on the festival. They were the ones in the 90s, I think, who revived it all and got it back going again. So yeah, it was. They're a big piece. The Popemobile is iconic, in this area especially. We did get a few people who was like, "What is that? Why is it an odd looking truck?" And I think getting a little bit more media footage and coverage around the vehicles in the museum would be good. These vehicles were built by people from Leyland, and yeah, the museum, by the way, is open every week. If you ever want to go up to Leyland and have a look around, it's there. You can go and have a look at all the different vehicles that are in there. And these vehicles hopefully will come out more and more to the festival each year. And next year's one, we've got another idea on how to get people into the parade, so everybody is happy. And we're going to run like a lottery system. So as you book up, you get your lottery number. You'll be given a number and an email that's sent back. I don't figure out how we've got to figure that out. I'm sure Seb will have an idea on how we can do that, so they get an individual number. Yeah. I'm sure there's software out there that can do it. But yeah, you'll be given into a draw because we can't have everybody go through the parade. Otherwise, it'd still be going now. A week later, we're still going through.
Yeah, we had to let down about 200 people, didn't we? We let about just over 40 come along, and we had to let down quite a few people that applied for a parade. A lot of people just selected parking as they didn't want to go through the parade because it is quite a daunting experience and it is quite scary.
You literally got, as you can probably see from the stuff that you're going to put on the screen, you've got literally thousands of people staring at you across the streets as you're driving down. It's a lot of waving you've got to do.
Especially when it was moving so slowly as well.
Well, that was a problem. This is another, so this was a problem of...
It needs to be that slow, though, doesn't it, to be fair?
Well, it didn't need to be that slow, no, because it should have been quicker. But we had a 98-year-old lady who would join the Popemobile, so the Popemobile driver had to be very careful, what he was doing, because he said that itself is like an old truck. It's it's a vintage truck. And
it's open top, isn't it? So they were stood up, waving, weren't they?
Yeah, so
I do get it. Yeah,
he's going to be extremely cautious, to want to drive at a certain speed, stopping and starting and stuff.
But that's the problem. I think stopping and starting is the problem. I don't think the speed was the problem.
I mean,
we've done it a few years, and the speed has always been that speed, but it's been constant.
Yeah.
Now this time it wasn't as consistent as last time, so it was just more stop start.
It does. It did. This is one of the feedback that you've got into it for the committee meeting when we do the debrief was that it was too slow. I was getting phone calls on the park. I was trying to control the park, and I'm on the park going, "You flipping need to speed your drivers up," and I'm like, "Right, I'll ring her now." And she's like, "You need to tell them that this guy in front of this safety guy is going too slow," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm not even there."
So I couldn't get in touch with anyone at the time because I was driving. So if I would have left my vehicle to go and sort it out for whatnot,
Again, it's just a
It would've been
learning
in-
thing. It's communication comms between you guys on the parade and
Yeah.
the health and safety people at the front. It's one of them. There's loads of stuff that we could do better, and we've done.
It's good though, the parades. How did you find it? Did you think there was more crowds this year? or-
Definitely more crowds.
I
was
feel like it
looking
was
at people
busier.
looking through the bedroom windows and sat there with the
Really?
deck chairs just waiting for us. I mean, your car actually scared a child.
I made a child cry. I made a few cry
literally
actually.
in tears. This kid, I wish I could have filmed it. To be honest, that would have been a good bit of film. His parents were laughing as well because just as he was going past him, she just decided just like rev the engine slightly.
Yeah, bouncing off the limiter.
Yeah.
Might have been a little bit too excessive. May have got a bit excited, but there was kids that were like egging you on. Like young kids. They was like, rev it, and like families were like encouraging it. And I was like, you know what? We're going to do this once a year. Let's go for it. Let's give the people what they want.
That's what I mean. That's why I think
Yeah.
the speed was perfect. It was just that it wasn't a constant flow.
So yeah, I think next is now start planning 2024 and see what Like I say, Henry, you've got your bits that you're out working on. Make sure you're having a break and then getting back at it. You've got a load of stuff to work on, and I'm the same. And we just like everybody to join us. If in any way, if you want to work with the festival, get in touch. If you want to bring your car to the festival, get in touch through the website, Leyland Car Care, and it's the event section. You'll see Leyland Festival on there. Get yourself signed up now, and if you want any information and you're coming from anywhere further afield, we can help you with hotels and stuff like that. And then if you just want to come on the day, like I say, it's the 15th of June next year, Mardi Gras, get dressed up, colourful and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's exciting. Some of the feedback was absolutely amazing as well.
Yeah.
I had loads of people getting in touch saying that it was managed really well and that they really enjoyed it, and the parade was like it was in previous years. Bringing it back and like the liveliness of it. I feel like there was a lot more stuff that was going on. We just had like dinosaurs just like roaming around the park and like disco ladies and just all sorts of random things that were going on. So like it was a lot more engaging, I think, than previously.
There's about 5 sections to the park. The park's a very vast park. It's a big park. And there's like the 5 main sections. You've got the kids, you've got the food, you've got the cars, you've got the music, you've got the dogs, and then you've got like a central kind of zone. And there's loads for you to do. Come and see the vehicles and everything what we're doing, but then you've got to go and see the other stuff as well because it's all wonderful stuff. There's so much for you to do. Even if you're coming further Manchester or wherever you're coming from, there's loads more. It's not just a wander in for an hour and wander out. There's so much stuff going on. And like I say, my goal for next year is to keep that retention on the field. Coming up with these new ideas of what we can do with the budgets that we have, of just bringing some live entertainment and live stuff that's going on. And we also want to get talked up there, like the idea for this year, and it didn't get pulled off because
Timing and everything else that was involved.
we had no time, did we?
No, we
didn't.
didn't.
And it was like the taxi and stuff.
Was always to be like, oh yeah, we'll swing in at different times of the day and ask questions. And just far too busy.
We didn't have time to like just go to the toilet or
Well,
like
we are-
go and grab some food or something.
Me and
did we?
Misha were planning on having like what would you call it, an assistant next year each.
Yeah.
Because we kind of need to have that time where we can get out because we needed to, speak to people and make sure they're coming back next year and all that kind of stuff. And it just was so demanding that we need probably an assistant that, Izzy as well probably needs an assistant.
Yeah.
And I think we have got some good people who we could probably promote to that, to help with that kind of stuff. But they'd obviously need to be replaced. But that means that then we could do, this is another interaction thing on that part, getting you guys to come and join us on the podcast. The taxi that's sat over here, that's, another feature of the podcast. We want to start getting that out to things and stuff. Get you guys on here, who are listening to this, and then you can also tell us about the festival as well. You can also try the products, and you can see what Misha does at Midnight Lengths and Henry does at HD Wraps, and come and speak to us, and go from there. So
Yeah, definitely. No, it's exciting times. Very exciting.